Ready? So I will ask you to please take your seats and we'll get some quiet in the chambers. I'll call the meeting to order. Clerk, would you please establish quorum?
Councilmember Lang.
Here.
Councilmember Meadows.
Here.
Councilmember Weinberg.
Here.
Vice Mayor Fliger.
Here.
Mayor Daley.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Madam Vice Mayor, would you consider leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay, so we did not have a closed session, so there's nothing to report. Are there any changes to the order of the agenda from my colleagues? Okay. Then we will move to our special items. First is a really fun one. This is a proclamation recognizing the service and retirement of our Public Works Director, Aida Fairman. And she is somebody who we are all, of whom we are all very fond, and we really appreciate her service. And so it gives me great pleasure to read the following proclamation. Whereas Aida Fairman, Public Works Director, has faithfully and honorably served the city of Los Altos for 18 years, demonstrating unwavering dedication, exceptional leadership, and a profound commitment to public service. And whereas during her distinguished tenure, Aida Fairman has overseen the planning, development, and maintenance of critical public infrastructure, thereby significantly contributing to the safety, welfare, and prosperity of the community. And whereas, through her prudent management and visionary guidance, the Department of Public Works has achieved numerous milestones in infrastructure enhancement, operational efficiency, and environmental stewardship. And whereas Aida Fairman has been recognized for her outstanding contributions to the field of civil engineering and public service, including being named the City of Los Altos Employee of the Year in 2015 and receiving the 2017 American Society of Civil Engineers San Francisco Section Outstanding Engineer in the Public Sector Award for the Northern California region. And whereas Aida Fairman has consistently exemplified the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and innovation, earning the respect and admiration of elected officials, colleagues, and the citizens of the city of Los Altos. And whereas Aida Fairman has served as a dedicated mentor and leader, fostering a culture of excellence and collaboration within the Public Works Department and with the various departments in the city. And whereas, as Aida Fairman embarks on a well-deserved retirement, the City Council wishes to express its deepest gratitude for her invaluable contributions and steadfast commitment to the betterment of the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Los Altos hereby formally recognizes and honors Aida Fairman for her exemplary service and extends its sincere best wishes for continued health, happiness, and fulfillment in all future endeavors. In witness thereof, this proclamation is hereby adopted this 9th day of September, 2025. And so I assume we're going to do pictures too. Oh, the whole family. Pictures, it's, if there's not a picture online of it, it didn't happen, right? If it's not on Facebook. Want to do another handshake for the video?
Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to do something a little bit unorthodox here and go off the agenda only a tiny bit and allow some of my colleagues to make a couple of comments that have had the pleasure of serving with Aida. So go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks for allowing us to do this. I just wanted to personally thank Aida for her service and commitment to the city. The city manager, Gabe, reminded me of something I said years ago, and I'm glad he did, because I meant it back then, and I mean it today. And I'll remind you, you had received, I think it was the recognition that the mayor just described, and you came to our council meeting, and this was pre-COVID. And you were presenting, and I remember at the end of that meeting, I said, this employee, I didn't know you as well then, this employee has such a bright future. She represents us well, and I hope she gets promoted up into the department and continues to represent us. And so I've watched your career path, I've watched your success. I am so happy to see where you are at the end of your career, at least with the city. Thank you so much, congratulations. You have an amazing family member, and thank you, Aida.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. If anybody else wants to add their 2 cents, now's the time. Please go ahead, Councilmember Weinberg.
Thank you, Mayor. There's not much more that I can add to what Nisa just said and to the proclamation that the mayor just read. But Aida, I just want to say thank you very much for your work. You've been so dedicated to the city. I enjoy working with you. I remember when we went on the tour of the sewage treatment plant, which is not a very pleasant place to think about, but important. I mean, you deal with things that are not necessarily pleasant to think about, but they are so important for the workings of the city. And your ability to communicate and the sense of your integrity, but more than that, I think everyone on the council really relies on you. You really have expressed yourself and demonstrated such an incredible ability and competence that we trust you and we rely on you, and that is going to be sorely missed. You have an absolutely lovely family. I'm so sorry that we're losing you, but like the Vice Mayor said, have a fantastic retirement. You've earned it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Can I say
Go
one
ahead,
thing?
Councilmember
I'll
Blaine,
say
go ahead.
One thing, I think they're great to think about. I love thinking about this stuff. As a historic guy, I actually visited the cloaca in Rome, which is like their original sewer, and it's just monumental engineering. It's great to think about. This is fundamental stuff. Let me just say one thing that I heard repeatedly about your service here that I think is very serious and important, which was how much you were good about caring and developing for the people on your team. Right? This is such an amazing, the projects, they come and go, right? But people remember forever when they have a leader who takes a moment to care about them, help them grow. And we heard that about you again and again. So I particularly salute you for that part of your work during your time with the city. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Meadows.
So thank you, Aida. Won't be the same here without you. You've been a model. We've been proud to say you've been our Public Works Director and a woman. There's not that many women who deal with that topic. So thank you for leading the way. I just want to tell one little anecdote, and I think it was Gabe that might have said this, but maybe it was your predecessors. I don't know. But it was something like, we give Aida every opportunity we can because when she walks in the room, council smiles. And that is true, really. We have confidence in you, we trust you, and we just smile when we see you. So you can come back, we'll smile. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, I have another special item, another proclamation, also very, very important, although it's not, we're not lucky enough to have the face of this wonderful proclamation. So I'm going to ask you to sort of think abstractly for a minute here. I have a proclamation recognizing Constitution Week, but I wanted to start by reading the preamble. It's short, and I think it will put us in the right mindset. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Whereas September 17th to the 23rd, 2025 is recognized as Constitution Week, a commemoration signed into public law on August 2nd, 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. And whereas this week marks the anniversary of the signing of the U.S. Constitution on September 17th, 1787, by 39 delegates to the Constitutional Convention, including Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. And whereas the United States Constitution stands as the foundational document of our nation, providing the framework for our government and securing the individual liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights of Americans. And whereas the Daughters of the American Revolution initiated the petition to Congress in 1955 to establish Constitution Week, aiming to highlight citizens' responsibilities in protecting and defending the Constitution. And whereas Constitution Week serves to educate the public that the Constitution is the foundation of America's heritage and the basis for our way of life, while also encouraging the study of historical events that culminated in its framing in September 1787, and whereas a deeper understanding of the United States Constitution and its history can help all citizens and residents of our community better comprehend our government and our rights. Now, therefore, I, Pete Daly, Mayor of the City of Los Altos, on behalf of the Los Altos City Council, do hereby declare September 17th through the 23rd, 2025, to be Constitution Week in the City of Los Altos. I urge all community members to celebrate the establishment of the United States Constitution and encourage everyone to reread the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the City of Los Altos on this 9th day of September, 2025. You want to get a picture? The more the merrier.
We brought a few members from our chapter. We were founded in 1950 and we're celebrating our 75th year this year, which is the year before the country celebrates its 250th year.
The sesquicentennial, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we missed a syllable. It's more complicated. Yeah, there's a couple more syllables. It is. Ready? Okay.
Yeah, I could also take a photo.
I would also encourage the residents of Los Altos to let their members of Congress know about this document called Constitution.
You guys could move a little bit to the left, please. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
And Pete, we brought a special America 250 challenge point for you. So
Oh
I
my
know you love
goodness,
challenge.
I do. Thank you so much.
It kicks off the year. We look forward to celebrating more with the city in the coming couple years.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
All right, now we will go to public comments on items not on the agenda. Do we have speaker cards?
We have one.
One? Okay. Who is it?
Brian Jones.
Yep. All right. 3 minutes, please, Brian.
Good evening, Council, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't think there's a better introduction for my comments than what you just said. So I speak tonight to highlight some of the issues that I recently submitted in a letter to the Council regarding Flock's implementation of automatic license plate readers. While this letter does not appear in the packet tonight, I trust that the Council members all received it, and I won't repeat everything that's in there. I know that I certainly heard from Councilmember Lang. The letter contains various links to media articles regarding Flock's implementation of ALPRs across the country and in California. So I encourage you to check out those media articles. The common theme in all of them is that Flock's recent actions have cast doubt on whether they can be considered a trustworthy partner for our city. Most alarmingly, they began a pilot program with Customs and Border Patrol, sharing data from an unknown number of agencies, some of which had policies explicitly forbidding such data sharing. The agencies were not informed of this program. Concerningly, the Flock CEO's statement said, and I quote, "We also didn't create distinct permissions and protocols in the Flock system to ensure local compliance for federal agency users." On the most generous reading, this is a cavalier disregard for cybersecurity and local policy compliance. The program has since been paused, but its long-term plan is not clear. Flock's future plans are also concerning. They are in the process of developing a new product that will use facial recognition and AI to connect individuals to license plates, allowing more detailed tracking. The original plan included using data bought on the dark web sourced from data breaches to train the AI. They apparently decided not to use that data when a large number of employees threatened to quit on ethical grounds. Citations are available in my letter. All of these breaches happened in spite of policies in place to prevent them. While our local police department has been diligent in using ALPRs properly and following our policies, it is clear that we can no longer count on the good faith of federal and some other local authorities to carefully follow policy. These media reports are for actual, not potential violations of local policies by other law enforcement agencies. In this environment, we need to rely on strong technical constraints that make it difficult or impossible for agencies to accidentally or intentionally violate our policies. In light of these developments, I urge the Council to consider what the responsible actions with respect to Flock might be. I would urge the Council to add an item to the agenda for discussion of possible mitigation. Some possibilities might include an independent cybersecurity audit to see how the system might be strengthened against out-of-policy use, or secondly, opening discussions with Flock on the implementation of additional technical constraints against out-of-policy use, and perhaps, if it comes to that, limiting additional capability purchases from Flock up to and including terminating our current contract if they are unwilling or unable to provide a product that the Council feels is responsible with its data. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next, we will deal with our consent calendar. First, I'll look to my colleagues and see if there are any items on the consent calendar that they want to remove and address separately. Okay. So then we'll have public comment on the consent calendar. And seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I move that we accept the consent calendar.
Second.
Councilmember Lang,
Yes.
Councilmember Meadows,
Yes.
Councilmember Weinberg,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fliger,
Yes.
Mayor Daley.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next will be our discussion item, which is commission appointments.
Okay, well, you guys, just for the public who is new here, since 4 p.m. this afternoon, the City Council has conducted interview sessions for open seats on our city commissions, for various commissions. And at the conclusion of the interview session, each council member filled out a paper ballot and provided those ballots to me. And after counting all of the ballots, I will now announce the winners, so you will. And the ballots are subject to the California Public Records Act. Please don't do that. Anyway, Complete Streets Commission is the first that we will start with. There is one vacant short-term seat expiring in September 2026, and the appointment goes to Clara Roa. Environmental Commission, one vacant short-term seat expiring in September 2028. That seat will go to Angelo DiGiuli. The Financial Commission, there are 3 full-term seats expiring in September 2029. There was 1 appointment made, that was Jonathan Chang. Historical Commission, that leaves 2 vacant seats, by the way, on the Financial Commission. Historical Commission, there's 1 full-term seat expiring in September 2029. That seat will be taken by Karen Skusel. I apologize if I said that wrong. Library Commission, there are 3 full-term seats expiring in September 2029 with 2 possible reappointments. Those appointments are Pierre Bedard, Ambika Bardwaj, and Janine Valadez. Parks, Arts, Recreation, and Cultural Commission, there are 5 full-term seats expiring in September 2029 and 1 vacant short-term seat expiring in September 2027. The applicants that will get those seats are as follows: Teresa Morris, Aaron McDonald, Misty Sangani, Ellen Dolich, Yvette Stout, and Alexandra Nguyen. Now, we did receive a tie for the last 3 names that I read aloud, so I will be emailing those applicants to determine who, if any of them, would like that short-term seat. And then once I get somebody to volunteer for that short-term seat, I will then bring that back on consent for council to ratify at the September 30th regular council meeting date.
Sorry, can you repeat the
Yes.
commissioners?
Sure. Teresa Morris, Aaron McDonald, Misty Sangani, Ellen Dolich, Yvette Stout, and Alexandra Nguyen.
And Mayor, if I may clarify, so Ellen, Yvette, and Alexandra all receive the same number of votes.
Yes.
And so you'll reach out to those 3 to find out which one wants the short term, but all 3 will be on the commission.
Oh, correct.
Yes.
Regardless, they'll be on the commission.
So all 3 will be on the commission. If one of them chooses the shorter term seat, then that will resolve the issue. If none of them choose that short term seat, it will come back to us to resolve that.
At the September 30th meeting, yes.
So is it going to be a first come, first served?
Yes, I'm
Let's
gonna present it like
we
that
have
in the
one
email.
in-
Like whoever responds first gets
Usually,
that
yeah.
short-term seat.
Go.
We're gonna let the clerk handle it,
Yeah.
not micromanage it.
The Planning Commission has 2 vacant short-term seats expiring in September 2026. There was 1 appointment made this evening, Daphne Ross. That leaves 1 vacant short-term seat expiring in September 2026, and that will remain open until filled. Senior Commission, there are 2 full-term seats expiring in September 2027. There was 1 appointment made this evening, Chris Olson, and that leaves 1 full-term seat expiring in September 2027 that will remain open until filled. And those were the appointments that were made. And I will be contacting, for the people that are not here, everybody who's left, I will be emailing everybody tomorrow morning, letting them know the outcome.
Okay, thank you. And so, council members, what that means is that we may undertake a new round of interviews to fill some of these unfilled seats. We're going to let the dust settle and then make an assessment of how to go forward with that. Yeah, this is a discussion item. So if there's any public comment. Okay. And then we've got an information item, which is part of the packet, and we don't have a discussion or a presentation on that. And we'll move to council and staff reports and directions on future agenda items. So I'll look to my colleagues. Councilmember Weinberg.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report, but may I request that we just keep open an agenda item for our next meeting to consider any resolutions that would be coming before the Cal City's General Assembly. I'll need direction from the council if we're going to take a position on anything. And I'm told that there's nothing pending right now, but we'll just have a placeholder on the agenda. I think that'd be wise.
Mayor, if I may, I do want to point out, I did reach out to Cal Cities and I have let them know that we would like to see any resolutions that come forward. And just like you announced, I was told that so far there's nothing pending. But I did ask that if they could get me anything that comes forward right away, and they said that they would. So if I get anything, I will put it on the agenda.
Sounds good. Anything else to report or new business items to suggest?
Since I'm going first, I'll report what many of us did, which was the fun groundbreaking event at Distal 330 Distal. You know, it's really great when you see things move to, well, it's not fruition, but the beginning of fruition. So that was a great event. A couple of us were at the lead reception, the sort of kickoff to the signups for LEAD, and I know our mayor was there, and I spoke a little bit, and despite that, people signed up apparently, registered for LEAD. So that's good. I think they might be getting started next month. We'll learn more. There was a block party on Avalon, so I attended that, and then I think our staff and our senior commission deserve a lot of kudos for that health expo today. That was one of the senior commission's goals for the year. And it just, while I was there, it was just teeming with people both in the speaker rooms. There was movement going on in the manzanita room. I don't want to demonstrate, that might hurt. And so I think it was a very successful event, and so thank you. I don't see Jamie's not here anymore, but I know that the staff really worked hard on it too. So thanks to the commission and staff. Oh, and then future agenda items. So one thing I noticed at last meeting's Q&A, that there was stuff asked to be added to the Q&A, to our packet. And I think that maybe it's an item that belongs in the norms, but I felt that what was essentially Q&A didn't meet the spirit of what we use Q&A for, which is discussion between the council and staff answering our questions. So I don't know if this is a future agenda item or we just take it up when we look at the norms next year, but I think we really should better define our Q&A, or else we can each put whatever viewpoints we like in Q&A. And I'm sorry, that's entering discussion. The city manager's looking at me funny. So anyway, so I would propose that as a future agenda item, but I'm also willing to consider if we're taking up the norms, then I think that's also a good place. So do I have support for that discussion, and where do you think it should go?
I support it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And to your point, either the mayor determines what meeting we put it on, or we just wait until the beginning of the year, because I think our policy does require us to review the norms. So whichever works, but I support the request.
I'll support it, even though I'm the offender.
Not the first.
No, you're not the
I
first.
support
You're
it
not
too,
the
and I
first.
suspect Councilmember Lang was about to chime in support. So
Mayor,
yeah,
you
I will.
you can decide, or whatever works best.
It at the moment I don't know where I
Yes,
am on
that's
this,
fine.
but
You can
we have
let
to
us
look at the
know.
agendas
You
and,
can let
work
us
through our
know.
process. But it will either come before us in October, or it'll wait until after the reorg.
Right.
So
And I have one other item, and this also might be an exercise for after the beginning of the year, but when we look at the commission interviews and everything, and the appointments we were able to make and the appointments we weren't able to make, and much appreciation to staff for publicizing it. We actually had good turnout in applicants. But to me, it still opens, and I know it was during my year as mayor in 2023 where we did the first sort of review of the commission reorgs. It still begs the question, I think there's some commissions that don't, can we look at which commissions are at which numbers? I won't give examples because that's getting too close to discussion. But I think having gone through 2 years since we reorged our commissions, we can look how we think it's working and see, do we need, 4 commissions that are 7 people, or not? So again, I leave that to you, or if it's.
I think it would be a good question for us to take up, whether or not some commissions might function better with 5, for example. So I'm open to agendizing that.
I'm
Is there
very open
another-
to that.
Okay, good.
And with that, I will let it, what?
Councilmember Lang, Councilmember Meadows, and myself. We are adjourned. Yes, the next regular meeting will be September 30th.